In the name of Amen, the Supreme, the All-Powerful, the one and only true God, in Amen we trust, as the Republican Mentellect, the true 144,000 that's being raised in this day and time, as the elect, the chosen people of Amen, the Amen race. Good evening. I am your host, the intellectual Nuben Menkarayzz. This is Mentellect Radio, and tonight we're going to be asking and answering the question, is Mentellect new knowledge from beyond the sun? My answer to that is yes. Yes, it is. A lot of people have accused me of remixing knowledge from older teachers, right? A lot of people have accused me of this. You remixing knowledge from Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, Dr. York, Elijah Muhammad. I done heard all of this. People went as far as to say I'm remixing from ancient Egypt, because they see the word Amen that I use, right? They say that I'm taking knowledge from ancient Egypt. A former follower of mine, former student of mine who was with me for 2 years, claims that it's all relative, that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the Nation of Islam, Dr. Malachi York, and myself are all recycling knowledge from Sumeria and Egypt. Right? This is what this former follower of mine said, and I'm gonna read his post later on from his page, right? Because he put my flag up there, he put my Republic's flag up there, right? And he's trying to make a comparative, example of general similarities between the three nations, or the three organizations: the Nation of Islam, the Nuwapians, and the Mentellians, the Mentalists, our organization, our community, trying to make a comparative, example of it. And he says, that all of this teaching that we have and that we're given to the people goes back to ancient Egypt and Sumeria, right? That all teaching, all knowledge comes from ancient Egypt and Sumeria. Right? I'll address the Bobby Hemmett and Phil Valentine thing first, and the Dr. York comparison. I've asked people who made these statements about Mentellect to come on to my broadcast and show where I copied from Bobby Hemmett, show where I copied from Phil Valentine, show where I copied from Dr. York or anybody else, and I'll stop teaching. I'll stop teaching. See, because you can't say that, okay, you speaking about extraterrestrials and we not being part of the human race, and that black people are extraterrestrials, and Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmett said the same thing. No, that's not the same thing, because Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmett never said where we come from, what we actually are, what species, what race we actually are. They never said that. At least I was never told they said that. Because I asked somebody who came on who kind of tried to insinuate that I took from these guys. So I said, okay, well, I teach that we are the Amen race, that we are not part of the human race, that we are coming from that movable planet, and that we were the 200 fallen Nephilim, or the astronauts, or the people who came down here on Earth. I said we teach that. Now, people will say, okay, well, that's what the Sumerians were saying. That's what they were saying, and the Egyptians were saying, right? And they were saying about these people that came down. Okay, they were speaking about our ascendants, which I taught about that being our ascendants, our future progeny, who came here first in future state and left everything in dimensions and outer dimensions, right, in time frames, even planting us in time frames. This is what I taught. Now, I asked somebody, did Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmett teach that? They said no. And if they did, show me where they taught it. You got to bring verbatim. You can't make a statement that just because they said something about extraterrestrials and black people being extraterrestrials, because I said the bright race is extraterrestrials. You understand? I never said that black people and bright people are the same. I said black people are the burnout or the degenerate version of the bright race. That's what I said. Right? I'm not switching out bright for black. Now, they also said that They also said that, because they made mention of extraterrestrials and things like that, that's a broad statement. That's a broad statement. I never said I was the first one to come with the subject matter of black people and extraterrestrials. What I said was the intelligence I gave on it is extended knowledge, next level knowledge. New, if you will. Next. Extended. Right? So, if you're going to look at what they was talking about Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmett and them and Dr. York talking about extraterrestrials, in that case, that's not new what they was talking about, because Elijah Muhammad talked about that before them. Elijah Muhammad was talking about extraterrestrials before all three of them. And if you go back to Egypt and Sumeria, they were talking about encounters they were having with Nikiru, Nephilim, Anunnaki, whatever you want to refer to them as. They was talking about extraterrestrial encounters. They was talking about that back then. So none of that is new from Bobby Hemmett, Phil Valentine, and Dr. York. If you want to get technical, they broached the subject of it. But it's one thing to broach the subject of something, and it's another thing to say, oh, I'm copying from these people. Because you can distinguish mentellect and what I teach in mentellect from what Dr. York taught, from what a Bobby Hemmett taught, from what a Phil Valentine taught. Because whenever I get the people up to you and ask them, and I said I'm opening the phone lines for certain individuals, hell, for everybody to come on here and prove where I copy from Dr. York, Phil Valentine, and Bobby Hemmett. 319-527-6028. I'm calling out whoever's saying that. I'm calling them out. I'll listen to you. I'll hear you out. But you got to show and prove. See, it's not enough to make statements and come on my page and talk crap, Fred Red, or these other people. It's not enough to make a statement, because you seem like you just want to argue and you bugged out of your mind. Something wrong with you. You mentally ill or something like that. I said, if you feel as though I'm remixing, you calling me the Puff Daddy and all these little simple-minded names, you understand? But yet when I ask you to show me why I copy Phil Valentine, you can never do it. You can never do it. I said the Nuwapians been up here. I got former Nuwapians who was members of the Nuwapians, and they never said I copied Dr. York. Well, except one guy, and then I told him to show and prove why I copied Dr. York. He never said nothing. So what ends up happening is these people fall in love with Bobby Hemmett. They fall in love with Phil Valentine. They fall in love with Dr. Malachi Z. York, or whatever teacher they they was exposed to certain knowledge on, and they feel like it's all the same thing. But you're not listening to the intricacies. You're not listening to the actual knowledge that the next person is bringing. You've already made up your mind that anything that if anybody speaks on that subject matter, that it's Phil Valentine, they must have been listening to a Bobby Hemmett. And I told you I never listened to their stuff. I don't listen to their stuff. Only thing I know, whatever somebody said, because when I had somebody come on here and I said, well, do Phil Valentine teach? I was going through mental. Like I said, do they teach this? Do they teach that? Do they teach this? Well, no, he didn't say this. Well, no, he didn't say that. Okay, then we're not sharing the same thing. Just to say, oh, I'm not supposed to speak on the bright race and extraterrestrials and us being extraterrestrials because Phil Valentine spoke around the subject of it. That's not saying that I copied anything from Phil Valentine, unless you're saying the subject of us being descendants of these extraterrestrials is all Phil Valentine's subject matter. That subject matter belongs to him. Because if somebody comes right now and starts speaking on extraterrestrials and things like that, I'm not going to say that we from extraterrestrials. I'm not going to say they copied off of Nubian Menkares unless I hear that we was the Amun race, that we came from here, and they start using certain specific terminologies and explaining things the way I've explained them, the way I laid it out in mental. Like, until I hear people, unless somebody does that and repeats me verbatim and goes along with exactly with the layout of the accounts out as I put them in Mentellect, then that's the only way you can say that I copied off anybody, or I'll say that that person copied off me. But to generalize and to say that because somebody spoke on extraterrestrials and the connection with so-called black people or whatever, that you copying from Bobby Hemmett or Phil Valentine, Dr. York, that is the stupidest thing I ever heard in my life. That is the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. And I asked people to come on here and show me. I said, I'll stop teaching. You can't get no better than that. Since you say that I'm the remix of Bobby Hemmett and Phil Valentine and whoever else, all you got to do is press 1. I'll listen to you, Fred Red. You understand? Anybody else up here who claiming that all I'm copying from is Egypt, and all this ain't nothing new coming from beyond the sun. Again, that's the stupidest thing I heard in my life. And this was from a former follower, ᴰᴟᴛᴇʟᴛᴇ. You understand? Who said this foolishness after being in the Republic of Mentellect and being a student of mine for 2 years. Now, my question to you, Dinar, is if you felt that way, why didn't you bring it to my attention that you felt as though I'm remixing Egypt and Sumeria? Why didn't you bring it to my attention? Because every time I did a radio broadcast, you was all blown open. Oh, man, I can't believe. Well, I never heard that before. Now, if you saying that you know the doctrine of Egypt and Sumeria, ancient Egypt and ancient Sumeria, ancient Kemet and ancient Sumeria, if you saying you know that doctrine, then you should have been able to point out to me what I'm copying from them. You should have been able to point it out. You can still come on here and point it out. Because like I said, I'll stop teaching right now. Because we're going to end this once and for all. Because if you ain't going to show up, then you talking crap. And you just a hater, and you angry because you feel as though now that you're not in the Republican Mentellect anymore, that, oh, I wasn't missing out on nothing anyway. When deep down you know you are. Because if you felt as though all the knowledge came from ancient Egypt and Sumeria, then why did you join the Republic of Mentellect? Because I wasn't teaching about the Meta-Netta. I don't know nothing about the Meta-Netta. I don't know nothing about the ancient Egyptian Book of the Dead. I don't know nothing about the extension of the 42 negative confessions. We're not teaching that in the Republic of Mentellect. I told you what we was teaching. You understand? So if you felt it was Egypt, then why didn't you just join one of them Kemetic communities? Why did you join the Republic of Mentellect? Why did you and your woman join the Republic of Mentellect? And even better, why do y'all still got Mentellian names? Why do you still got Mentellian names if you feel as though I'm remixing Egypt and Sumerian, ain't nothing new coming from beyond the sun or from under the sun? Because again, if you felt that way, then why don't y'all leave the Mentellian names? Stop using the Mentellian names, because those are not Egyptian names. Those are not Sumerian names. The ᴰᴛᴇʟᴛᴇ and ᴰᴛᴇʟᴛᴇ is not Egyptian names. They're not ancient Kemetic names, and they're not Sumerian names. So why are you still using them? Those are Mentellian names. Why are you still using them? The ᴰᴛᴇʟᴛᴇ, ᴰᴛᴇʟᴛᴇ. Why are you still using the names? If all I'm doing is remixing Sumeria and Egypt, why don't y'all get you some ancient Egyptian names or Sumerian names? If that's the root of everything, as you say, and that all knowledge came from them, why are you still using terminologies of what I taught in Mentellect? Why are you still making reference to Amen Mentorium, which came from me? Why don't you go and use ancient Kemetic terminologies and take on ancient Kemetic names or Sumerian names? If you feel that's the truth of where everything comes from, why don't you do that? You know why you're not going to do that? Because you're a liar. You a liar. And you good at lying. And you good at, because you no longer part of the Republic of Mentellect, you want to write it off as, oh, this is just some name, nothing new coming from beyond the sun. He ain't teaching nothing new, because you not getting nothing new. You know how Negroes are. When nothing new is coming to them, when they're not receiving any knowledge, they want everybody else to be mentally dead with them. Ain't nothing new, because nothing new is coming to you. So, of course, there's nothing new coming from beyond the sun, because you're not receiving it. You're not receiving it. You got to take from other people's ideas. You got to take from other people's precepts and form your own concepts. You're going to say everything originated with the ancient Egyptians and the Sumerians. Okay, where they get it from? That's my question. Where they get it from? If you saying that everything from creation and everything else came from them, then where'd they get it from? Are you saying that the ancient Egyptians and the Sumerians, a bunch of people, a society or civilization of people, created the planet Earth? Are you saying that? Are you saying that they created the planet Earth? Are you saying that they hold all the keys to all the knowledge on the planet Earth, and that everything that was ever going to be on the planet Earth was with ancient Egypt and Sumeria? Is that what you're saying? Because if you're saying that, you sound crazy. If you saying that the ancient Egyptians, because I heard some of you Egyptology Negroes talking about, oh, the ancient Egyptians was the gods and they created everything in the universe. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Because if that's true, then how the hell the Greeks and the Romans defeated them? How the hell ain't they still here on Earth? Why ain't their society still going if they the creators of the planet and that all knowledge is with them? How is it that their societies are torn away? If that means they gods on the planet, that they the creators of the planet, then why are their societies going? Why is their societies going? Why are their descendants scattered all over the earth and whatnot, and they not even connecting with them? Why is their societies going? Why are they gods not up no more? If they are the gods. If Amen is a concept, like a lot of you simple-minded Egyptology Negroes say, Amen and Amen-Ra is a concept of ancient Egypt. If Amen-Ra or Amen is a concept of Egypt, then why do they refer to Amen as the hidden or unknown? They refer to Amen as hidden or unknown. Now, how are you going to refer to a God that you created as unknown? How do you not know about a God that is your own concept, that you created, supposedly? That don't make no sense. You're going to tell me that all the knowledge is in ancient Egypt, huh? That ain't nothing new coming from beyond the sun, huh? Oh, so the ancient Egyptians had televisions, they had cars, right? They had VCRs, they had computers, right? They had all that knowledge in Egypt in the pyramids, huh? And that the white man just went over to Egypt and found it and took it from them and brought it out in the world. Is that what you're going to say? Is that the foolishness you're going to really commit to? Because I had some Kemetic Negro say something stupid like that. Oh, the Egyptians had the blueprints for cars and VCRs and TVs. Knock it off. Knock it off. They had the blueprint for the gun too, right? So then why the hell did they make the guns and shoot the damn white man and kill them people that came over and invaded their country? How come if they had all that technology? Answer, because they didn't. They didn't. And no knowledge did not start from the ancient Egyptians. The knowledge on the planet, everything that man is receiving came from one source, and that is the creators of this planet. They gave man new knowledge in the time frames in which they were allotted. And every time frame and every dimension in which man was in, woman was in, they were given knowledge by these creators, by these Amen beings. They were given the knowledge to them. So how are you going to say that they're not going to give anything new from under the sun or beyond the sun? How are you going to say that? They obviously couldn't be on the planet to create the planet. They had to be before the planet. They had to be before time, before the rotation of the sun, planet around the sun. They had to be before that. So all this knowledge is coming from them. And if the Egyptians knew all this knowledge, how the hell they let the Greeks and Romans run them out of their country? How they let their countries get invaded if they had all this knowledge? You know how people say some of the stupidest things, because what happens is you get caught up in man and their cultures and man-made cultures and concepts, and you don't know, you stop using logic and common sense and rationale, and you just start being emotional because you got an emotional attachment for the ancient Egyptians, the ancient Sumerians. You like their culture, so you're going to make them more than what they was. You're going to make them more than just a regular society of people. They were advanced, I give you that. They were an advanced society, but their advancements, their technology, their knowledge came from on high, from those Amen beings, or what they refer to as that ᴰᴇᴛᴇ, or what you refer to as God, extraterrestrials, whatever you want to refer to it. The knowledge did not come from them. They got it from somewhere. They got it from somewhere. And that's how all knowledge works. Just like the white man got knowledge from these Amen beings. They gave him the technology for the car. You understand? These Amen beings, these God beings, whether you refer to them as ᴰᴇᴛᴇ, Anunnaki, even though that's not their names, that's a description. Like Anunnaki would be like astronauts. ᴰᴇᴛᴇ would be like astronauts. They were a race of Amen who begat or created a race of humans. They were a race of Amen, a God race, an advanced race of people. And they were not the ancient Egyptians. The ancient Egyptians were their descendants, some of them, And they gave knowledge to their descendants. Just as you do today when you have a chosen few people who are in alignment or who are chosen by these advanced beings, and they're going to send messages to these people telepathically, send different thoughts to these people so that they can bring these ideas out into the physical world for their time frame and in their dimension. That's how they always do. So when we receive that knowledge from these beings from beyond the sun, it's new knowledge on earth to us. No matter whether we coming into that knowledge that they laid out for us, once we discover it, it is new knowledge. It is next level knowledge. You sound foolish talking about there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing new coming from beyond the sun. The damn blueprint of the planet came from beyond the sun. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Our people say foolish things, man, because they mentally dead. You got a lot of people who are mentally dead, and they're not going to receive nothing. And they don't want the chosen ones of our people to get it. They don't want, because they burnt out or dead receivers. Amen is not dealing with them. They're not of the elect. They're not of the chosen. Because they're really earthbound people. They were born here. Their seed line stops here. They don't have any genetic link to the Amen being. That's why they're not receiving any knowledge. That's why they believe that everything comes from people, when in fact it comes from those advanced people, those Amen beings, those God beings that created those people, that cloned those people. You understand that? That's why we have this knowledge here. It is not because of man. It is not because of mankind. When you talk about natural selection and the advancement of the so-called human race, they use the word, your scientists use the key word selection. In order for a selection to take place, somebody has to do the selecting. Somebody has to judge who's going to receive that knowledge and who is not. Who's going to advance and who is not. And like I said, it's not for everybody to evolve. It's not for everybody to move forward. It's not going to happen. It's only for a chosen few. How you going to say something simple-minded like there's nothing new under the sun? Was the cars here in 1800? Was the radios here? Was the TVs here in 1800 and 1700 and 1600 and 1500? Was the cars and radios here? Was the TVs here? Was the computers here? Where the hell they come from? Where the cell phones came from? Where did all that technology come from? It magically appeared out of Egypt? Where'd it come from? I want to know. I want all these people to say there ain't no new knowledge coming from under the sun. I want them to call in and tell me where all this technology came from. Did it come from the Egyptians? And if so, show and prove. Show and prove. No, you ain't going to fix your mouth to say nothing stupid like that. You're not going to fix your mouth to say nothing dumb like that. Just like you should have never fixed your mouth to ᴍᴇᴛᴇʟᴛᴇ Fred Red to say something stupid like, ain't nothing new coming from beyond the sun or under the sun, because y'all ain't going to get nothing from there, because y'all dead receivers. You have not been chosen. You are mentally unfit to receive any knowledge from these Amen beings, which means on the other side, there is no representation of your genetic. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you are not receiving anything, nothing is resonating to you about future, and everything about you is Egypt in the past and Sumeria, then that means that your bloodline, your seed didn't make it to the other side. Your bloodline and seed don't exist in the future. They're not of the elect, because your bloodline and your seed have to be of the elect for you in order for you to even resonate on these levels, tones, and frequencies of this future race and this advanced intelligence. You have to exist. Your bloodline has to exist on the other side as part of the ascendancy. If your bloodline doesn't exist as part of the ascendancy, then of course you're not going to receive it. And of course, in your mind, ain't nothing new under the sun. Everything is Egypt and Sumeria, because that's as far as you go. Backwards. There's no forward for you. There's no forward for you. You thoroughly in the world and of the old world, and in this new, there's no future for you. You're of the mentally dead, like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. And I'm going to get on that about the Amen Ray and me using Amen Ray and me being a receiver and all this other stuff. I'm going to get on that in a minute, because you made the comparison to ᴍᴇᴛᴇʟᴛᴇ that we all the same and we ain't bringing nothing new. You took similarities. I'm going to read your thing. You took similarities of all of our organizations, and you basically link certain things together. The 144,000, a messenger, a receiver, a Messiah. Yeah, that been going on since ancient Egypt. You're right. That been going on since ancient Egypt. But that paradigm of selecting a leader, a Messiah, messenger, was done by these Amen beings, by these creators. They chose one person to lead a group of people. It didn't start with those people in Egypt. They didn't say, "Oh, you know what? I'm gonna be the Pharaoh, the Mahdi, the Messiah, whatever you want to call the leader, and I'm gonna be raised 144,000." They didn't say that. Those Amen beings said that and set that up on earth with those people, and we following it out with the Amen beings set up. We encapsulating all of that knowledge that the Amen beings, because as I said, in every time frame, they give new knowledge. In every time frame, new knowledge is given. In every time frame where our people are represented coming together as a collective after the order of Amen, whether they was using the name Allah or whatever the case may be, new knowledge is formulated within a time frame for that group of people. It is allotted for that group of people. New knowledge, next level knowledge to raise those people. Because what is the point of receiving knowledge? And the whole point of receiving knowledge is to raise the people. It's to raise the people. So you got to give them something new to raise them. You can't raise people hearing the same thing over and over and over again, which is why the black race is not really raising up. Because y'all keep hearing the same thing over and over and over again, but it'll be those chosen few people, those people who split off from you, that select and collective group of people that split off from you, they're going to receive the new knowledge. That is the coming of the 144,000. And yes, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad spoke about the 144,000. And yes, Dr. Malachi Z. York spoke about the 144,000. And Nuben Menkares talks about the 144,000. I'm the fulfillment of that in this day and time. Because as I said before, and I taught, I said that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was responsible for gathering the body of people. In other words, giving the structure. Dr. Malachi Z. York was responsible for sparking the soul in our people again, which he did. Sparking the soul in our people, the energy, the fire in our people again, getting them proud of themselves. And now my turn is the mind, the mental. My part is the mental, reconnecting the mind of our people so that we receive pure transmission and are able to send reception. That's my job. And I've been saying this. And you knew when I was saying this here, when you was here, Dinar, you knew I was saying this. Why didn't you ever call it out as something from Egypt then? Why you didn't call it out then? Now while you going, now you trying to lightweight take a dump on everything that we taught through Mentellect and try to link it back to Egypt because we use one word, Amen. And Amen did not come from Egypt. Amen came through Egypt. That Amen, those Amen beings were a race of God, whether you were referring to them as ᴰᴇᴜ or whatever the case may be, that came down to those people, and they were already using the name Amen. They were already using it. The ancient Kemites and the ancient Sumerians were showing you their encounters with these extraterrestrial advanced beings. The Dogon spoke about it too. Those were the people that were bringing the new knowledge to the people on the planet. They never said all the knowledge came from them. They never said that. They always showed those alien encounters, which over time became angels, which over time became God in the sky, which over time became the white man looking for intelligent life forms in outer space, the so-called scientific white man looking for intelligent life forms. He's searching for God, those advanced beings, the ones who were the true givers of all knowledge, next level knowledge, new knowledge, next level knowledge on earth. They are the ones who give it, not the Egyptians, not the Sumerians, not the white man, not no man. Them, those Amen beings, of which the elect, the 144,000, are their descendants. They're living descendants on earth. Facts. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. And use logic. Use rationale. Pick that phone up, I dare you. Pick it up and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that all knowledge came from ancient Egypt. All knowledge came from Sumeria. Show and prove. 319 527-6028. Pick it up and press 1. I'll listen to you. I'm not going to over yell you. I'm not going to do that because I want to put an end to this. I want to put an end to this. If my haters don't show up, because I said this on my Facebook page. I said my haters. I said that my knowledge of mental is next level, is next or new, but my haters are old. That jealousy, envy, and hate, what you Negroes have in your chest, ain't go nowhere. You was the same people back in the Honorable Elijah Muhammad time. You were the same people in Dr. York time, and you're going to be the same people in my time. You all the same people, man. You don't want to see the raising of the bright race. You don't want to see the elect being raised because the black race, the majority of our people are not of the elect. They're not of the 144,000. They're not of it, so they don't want to see the 144,000 raised. They don't want to see us receiving new knowledge from beyond the sun, from our Amun ascendants. They don't want to see it because their ascendants have not become part of the Amun race. Their descendants are either dead or just a bunch of damn Negroes who are going to end up being slaves later. A bunch of mixed race Negroes in the future. That's where their bloodline and descendants are going to go to. They just going to be damn humans on Earth. A bunch of mixed race humans. So they see their bloodline genetic going to be totally mixed out. And because they know this to be true, because they know this factually to be true, that they not receiving nothing, they're going to steal certain things. Ain't that right, Denal? Like designs, pictures, and claim them as their own. Trademark, and things like copyright and lying about things. Making up stuff. That's what you're good at doing as a black person. Because black people live lies. They haters. Black people are the original haters. The white man is the secondary hater. But being that the black, so-called black man being here the longest on earth, you the original hater. And who did you hate? You hated the gods. You hated the ascendants. You hated the bright race. You hated the ascendants. You hated the Amun being. The black race were the first haters of God. Your black race. Your Negroes. The Norman Dares, Fred Red. They hated the bright race. The ones who were of the elect, the ones who were chosen as the bloodline descendants of these Amun beings that would raise a elect race of people. They hated on those people because they wasn't a part of it. They wasn't leading it. So, of course, ain't nothing new under the sun. Ain't nothing new coming from beyond the sun. Then you might well say there's no Amun then. There's no God. Why you keep talking about Amun this and Amun that on your thing and being in reception with Amun? You got that from me, Denal. You didn't get that from no Egyptians. And no, reception is not prayer. I'm going to read your thing in a minute on the next break. Reception is not prayer. You talking about reception, prayer, meditation. No, it is not the same. It is not the same. You never seen me make reception. You don't even know what reception. You heard me refer to it, but you don't even know what it is. You understand that? But because all you understand is religion, your mind is small, and all you understand is religion, the Norman Dares, all you understand is religion, all you understand is prayer, because you're nothing but a religious person. You're nothing but a religious doctrine person. So you think everybody work off the same limited mindset as you, off of the same small mind as you. You think everybody works off the same small mind. You and your woman. Then she going to put on the thing, religion, religion, religion. Where you get that from? You got that from Dr. York. And the word jinn is an Arabic word that's talking about demon. Y'all should know about that. Why are you making reference to the jinn in Arabic? That's a religion. Mentellect is not a religion. But you got to make it a religion because that's all you understand. You're incapable of understanding anything beyond a religion. You're incapable of understanding anything beyond prayer. You're incapable of understanding anything beyond Amen. Because when the Egyptians sealed, when the so-called Christians, Muslims, and Israelites sealed their prayers off with the name Amen, that was the end and meant to be the beginning of something else which they were not privy to. Advanced and extended knowledge. That's why they sealed off their names with the prayer Amen. That was the end and the new beginning of something else. After that, their prayer was over with. They were begging Amen, those advanced beings, that God race of advanced beings, those advanced people, to aid them, give them clarity, give them enlightenment, give them peace, whatever they was asking for, they would pray to these people. And they would seal off their prayers with these people's names. Amen. That race, that God race. And that was the end, and that's as far as they knew about them. That's why, again, they say Amen. The name Amen means the hidden, the unknown. Again, how do you come up with a concept if shouldn't the Egyptians, if they created the name Amen and the concept of Amen, shouldn't they know what Amen means? Should not be the hidden? Nothing should be hidden from the people that created. That don't make no sense. You guys don't make no sense. And I'm waiting on you, Fred Red. I'm waiting on you. I'm taking your call. I'll listen to you. I won't say not one word. Since you claiming you're going to listen to the broadcast, you said you was going to call in. You was going to debunk me. You said Minister Inky destroyed me. You said cell fluid proved that my flag, the Mentelian flag, was a ripoff of a Macedonian flag. That's what you said. So why don't you come on and prove it? I'm going to take a call. You went on 510? It's 973?
Oh, my bad. I'm listening to the broadcast. Mizak.
All right, Mizak, Brother Maurice. All right. I'm going to put you back on. I'm going to put you on mute.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm waiting for these people to show up and prove that I copied from the Met. Because I told him, I said, you look at our flag now, the Mentelian flag, and I said it's similar to the Japanese, Nippon, and all of it. It's similar, but it's not the same. It's similar. Sure, it's similar, but it's not the same. In other words, you're not going to mistake the Mentelian flag for no other flag. You're not going to mistake that for the Japanese Nippon flag. You're not going to mistake us for no Macedonian flag. I said I don't use that flag no more. The old one that that cell fluid talking about. You take that up with ᴰᴙᴍ. He took our old flag and he using it. Our flag, the Mentelian flag with all the rays on it, is a copywritten image that I own. The ᴰᴙᴍ owns the Macedonian flag that we used to use. He owns that. I asked him to do that. I designed the flag. I asked him to do that, but I never seen the Macedonian flag. He did that. But that was never meant to be our flag totally, because I had always wanted, what you see now, that's what I always wanted our flag to look like. But the ᴰᴙᴍ couldn't get it right, so I had to have another brother, a more capable brother Onan Minbares, make the flag, and we own the copyright to that. We own the copyright to that. That's our flag. That is the Mentelian flag, the Mentelian Ammonite flag, the solar earth flag, which you calling your flag to know what you got from me. Like I said, why don't you go get Egyptian names? Why don't you and your woman go get Egyptian names? If I'm a phony, if I'm a con man, if I'm a hustler, if I'm remixing ancient Egypt, why are you still wearing Mentelian names? Why are you still teaching stuff from what I taught? Now you're trying to add in some East Indian Hindu nonsense with it that your woman put you up on. People sitting in some damn folded meditation, some demonic practice. But that's what y'all do. I'm going to take a call. 330.
Yeah, can you hear me? This is Jelani Dorsey. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, this is I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, man. I just was listening, and I just wanted to say anybody that's in reception would know that you're completely transparent and 100%. Period. Anybody that's in reception, anybody that has anything that's of ill will or of or trying to play you like you're a con artist. I'm not even a registered member of Mentellect, and I'm a receiver, and I understand. Anybody that has anything to say, anybody that's a receiver of the true and living God, Amen, understands that you're a receiver and you're meant to lead. Anybody that says that you're a fake or a foul or phony, there's something wrong with them, period. And I'm not even part of the state of Mentellect, and I understand that, period. So I just wanted to say that anybody that has anything to say that this is new information. It's new information, and I'm new to all of this, and I understand that. That's all I wanted to say. So I just want to come out and say I'm not even part of the state of Mentellect officially. I'm not even I don't have a Mentelian name. I'm not even an Egyptologist. I don't know all that, but I'm a receiver, and I know for a fact that you're 110% what you say is real and legitimate. So anybody that has anything to say that that's contradictory to what you say, or that you're a phony or trying to rip off some other stuff, they don't know what they're talking about, and they weren't even meant to be a part of it in the first place. Because a person convinced against their wills of the same opinion still. So they never were meant to be a part of Mentellect anyway, because it's a revolving door. Anybody that's not meant to be a part of it, they'll get spun out anyway. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. Uh-huh. I'm going to go back on mute because I want to listen in. Yep.
All right. And for those of you who wondering, did I put a brother up to say that? No, I didn't. I seen the brother on Facebook and whatnot. He listened to the broadcast. He's not a registered member of the Republic of Mentellect. That brother called in and he listening. Now that goes to show you people who are in reception, who are receiving, the people who are knowing that, realizing that this is the truth. That goes to show you was never of it, Derek. You was never of it. You was never of Mentellect. You was a wannabe, and you was a phony. You was an undercover conscious Negro. You ain't no different than Polite. You ain't no different than Saw Nigga. You ain't no different than none of them guys, man. Them undercover conscious Negroes. You understand? That want to teach this garbage about everything come from Egypt. You want them want to be Egypt Negroes. Like I said, you should have took an Egyptian name. You should have studied the Meta Netta. You should have never came into the Republic of Mentellect because you never belonged here. You cause more confusion than anything. You and your damn woman. But hey, that's what you do. I ain't mad at it. You black people. That's what black people do. Black people are block people. You block the reception. You're meant to be here to block the reception of Amen. You meant to cause confusion. That's what you do. You never gonna be man enough and show up and say otherwise. You're not gonna do that. You understand? You're not going to be man enough to show. All you're going to do is make them little faggoty posts on your damn page and talk crap. Yes, that's all you're going to do. That's all you're going to do. You're not going to be man enough to say, this is why I say this and this why. You'll just make them because you, like I say, ain't nobody ever going to put it out there and tell the truth about what you said, because you're not a truthful person at all. Fraudulent. Hater, small man, little man with a small mind. See, we ain't got time for that. We ain't got time for that. We moving forward as a new people. We moving forward as a new people. We don't got time for small people with small minds. We ain't got time to hear people sit up here and refer to Mentellect as remixed knowledge when I gave you the opportunity to come out and show. Right? I gave you the opportunity. You go back and point at some damn interview with Minister Inky on Sarnetta TV, where 1 minute the guy's asking, one minute the guy's interviewing me, the next minute he trying to debate me, and the next minute he turning around and agreeing with 80% of what I said. I'm not going to keep rehashing that. We already dealt with that already. And then they take the video and chop it the hell up to make me look like I'm crazy. You only do things like that because, like I said, you obviously wasn't secure with how you looked on the video. Like I said, I've been saying what I said. You understand? I've been saying what I said, and keep in mind, Minister Inky ran over there to interview me. I didn't come over there to interview him. He ran to interview me. Listen to the beginning of the video. He ran over there to interview me because he was listening to Mentellect Radio. And before, when I had him on my broadcast, when I dealt with his vegan diet, I showed how it was a bunch of nonsense and ripped it to pieces, so he wanted to get even, playing games, trying to make people look bad. You understand? Foolishness. You understand that? Not going to keep revisiting that. Not going to revisit the Macedonian flag, because our flag don't look like the Macedonian flag. It looked more like the Japanese Nippon. It resembles it, but it's not the same. That's like saying, I got shoulders, I got 2 ears, a nose, and a mouth like a gorilla, but are you a gorilla? Are you the same as a gorilla? No, you're not the same as a gorilla. You have similarities, You have things that are relative, but you're not the same. Relative don't mean the same. You have certain things the same as the white man, but you're not the same as he is. You have certain things that are the same, certain things that are different, things that make you unique from everybody else. You understand? You're not the same, but you have similar things. You have things that are relative to each other, but there's a difference in it. That's the same thing with the flag. You are not going to mistake a white man for a black man. You are a real so-called black man. You're not going to mistake a so-called black man for a white man just because they got two ears, a nose, a mouth. They have things that are similar. Same thing with our flag, the ᴍᴇᴛᴇʟᴛ flag. Even though it resembles or has similar variables of a solar flag or sun flag from the Japanese Nippon, you see our color scheme, you see our color arrangement. You're not going to mistake our flag for the Japanese Nippon flag. You see the ᴍᴇᴛᴇʟᴛ flag, you're going to know that's our flag. You'll know that. The intricacies is what shows and differentiates the intricacies. Same thing with the knowledge. When you hear intellect and you hear certain things taught about the Amun race as a race of beings, when you hear about the difference between soul and spirit and the breakdown that we don't have spirits, when you hear about the three stages of illumination, bright, light, and dark, when you hear about all this stuff that only came through intellect, that didn't come through no damn Egyptians. It didn't come from Bobby Hemming, didn't come from Phil Valentine, it didn't come from Dr. York. And I could go on with all the things I brought out, all the new intel I brought out through intellect. I can go on with it. You want to sit up here and point to, because like this guy Nation is going to say, all you did was take Allah and replace Amen with Allah and mentalist with Muslim and your book with the Quran and things like that. Okay, so what you're saying is we took real principles that didn't come from Elijah Muhammad. God, the creator, a name, a terminology of what a people is, an identification didn't come from Elijah Muhammad. That goes back to the ancient people, and they got that from them Amun race, them Amun beings. All knowledge comes from the creator. All knowledge comes from the creators, the Amun being, the God race. All knowledge comes from the creator, not from no Elijah Muhammad, not from no Dr. York, and not from Nuben Menkares. I never said nothing came from me. I said knowledge came through me. Through me. I always said that. And it is for the evolution and the raising of the bright race, the Amun race. That's what it's for. Come here to remix nobody knowledge or tell you some ancient Kemetic nonsense. You just saying that, Dinar, because like I said, you ain't in the Republic of Mentellect no more, and you don't want to feel like you missing out on nothing. But yeah, you are, Dinar. You are. Big time. So I don't want to be part of nobody's organization or group. I wish you would have thought that way before you wrote your letter and sent in your damn picture. I wish you would have thought that way then, because we didn't need you here. You understand? I wish you would have thought that way before you sent in your letter and showed your disingenuous mindset when you were sitting around here telling lies and being a damn demon. I wish you would have thought that way then, you and your woman. I wish I would have thought that way. I wish you would have never sent your letters in. I wish you would have never became members. But hey, everything has a reason. Amen does everything for a reason. You understand that? You were the worst thing that ever happened to the Republic of Mentellect, you and your woman. You were the worst thing that ever happened to us. But no, well, I'm not even going to give you that credit. You the worst thing and you the best thing, because by you doing what you did, you made us step our game up. You made us step it up. You made us make better flags. You make us make better videos. You made the brothers step it up. By you being who you are, you understand? By you doing what you doing, you made us step it up. So just so we could step away from you. So hail Amen to that. Hail Amen to that. And I'm waiting on you, Fred Red. I'm waiting on you. Because I know you're going to come later on and have some comment to say on the radio broadcast. I know that's you. I don't know what your problem is. You need help. You really need help. You really need help mentally. You gonna sit up here after I done blocked you on Facebook? You gonna sit up here and set up another page just so you can send me a message and start arguing with me? What kind of madness is that? What kind of real man does that? And I asked you, I said, well, brother, if there's a problem, you think I'm remixing people now, then come on here and show me. Show me. I'm waiting on you. I still don't see you. Press 1 when you come on here. I know you listening. I know you listening. Y'all need to really stop it, man. We'll be right back. I'm going to read something from ᴰᴏᴍ, a person who was a former follower of mine, who, by the way, received that name ᴰᴏᴍ from me, from Mentellect as a Mentelian name. Right? This is the same person who says that everything comes from Egypt, but like I said, your name didn't come from Egypt. Your name didn't come from Sumeria, ᴰᴏᴍ. Why don't you take an Egyptian or Sumerian name? The idea that religions are not parallel paths toward the same destination in a world of warring creeds, where each one proclaiming that it is alone its true direction toward an infinite and omnipresent God, is blatantly false. In truth, the parent of 72% of the world's religions, according to comparative mythological studies and worship of religions of the Egyptian sun god Amun, Ra, Aten, is Amunism, Anunism, and Atenism theology, which it sounds like you read from some book somewhere, which originated primarily in ancient Egypt and Sumer, and then dispersed throughout the world into new cults and religious movements such as Buddhism, Christianity, Confucianism, Hinduism, Islam, Jainism, Judaism, Shinto, Sikhism, Taoism, Zoroastrianism, and the likes. And if an inquiring mind would look deeper into the mythos of the heart of doctrine of Christianity, one would discover that the theological dependency of Christendom and ancient Egypt is more stronger and more so evident in the theological link with the Hebrew tradition. So too are the other denominations and factions of religious traditions that have either spawned prior to or long after Christian ideology. Even a plethora of New Age thought and its various doctrines and schools can be traced back to the core essentials of basic foundation, more of ancient belief systems rooted in ancient antiquity. Many teachers, imams, rabbis, gurus, scholars, spiritual guides, and leaders have all adopted and incorporated these more archaic ideas and primitive thoughts into their teachings as foundations they built upon in order to create their own doctrinal perception. The core tenets of all of these New Age religions, New Age revelations, can be perceived as simply newly evolutionized ideas, more contemporary fashion precepts from their former predecessors. From the 17th century, occultist circles of theosophical societies and Western esoteric. You copied this from a book. First of all, these are not even your own thoughts. But let me go ahead and finish, because I'm going to get down to Elijah Muhammad in a second. From the 17th century, occultistic circles and theosophical societies, the Western esoteric orders, and the New Age of the 1970s, to the personage of such as Elijah Muhammad, Dr. York, and present-day lecturers and conscious movements have all sprung up from the same primordial well of intellectuality. Undoubtedly, proclaimants of visionary ideas obvious grew out of the olden and more primitive sources of knowledge that have instigated a linear progression, which you got from me, a linear progression. That came from Mentellect. A linear progression of reconstruction and generational resurrection of ideas that resonate in the hearts of people today. Modern proposed doctrines as purported intellect in forms of supreme wisdom, right knowledge, and right consciousness and mentellect are all comparative as a varied method of contemplation, of prayer, meditation, reception, control of the mind, 10 commandments, law, ma'at, decree of law and order in terms of righteousness. First of all, I told you before, reception is not prayer. Reception has nothing to do with prayer. I'm going to explain the difference. Prayer is getting on your knees and praying to an unseen force, a God being, a spirit being, to save you or do something for you or to intervene in your life, to make your life better. That's prayer. Reception is the contacting of the advanced self. The advanced self, the extended self, not no unseen God, not no separate God, the contacting of the extended self in outer dimensions. Because as we taught in Mentellect, those who are in tune, those who are of the elect, you have extended versions, advanced versions of yourself in outer dimensions through the ascendancy of Amen. And you are part of the Amen race. And we are, through reception, contacting those advanced extensions of the higher self. Now, does that sound like prayer? Does that sound like prayer? You are contacting the extended version of yourself. We teach that in Mentellect. That is not prayer. Prayer is praying to some unseen God, some spook. You understand? Control of one's mind, 10 commandments. First of all, they don't deal with the mind in religion. They deal with belief in religion. 10 commandments, law and ma'at, decrees, law and order in terms of righteousness, 144,000 chosen few elect for salvation of the great judgment day, the Lord and solar, Holocaust, God, Allah, Atum, Amen. First of all, again, the 144,000 that's spoken of are being raised in this day and time. Elijah Muhammad and all those people that spoke about the 144,000, they were raising or working to raise the 144,000 to kick over this evolution of an advanced people. They played their part in working to raise and elevate a new creed of people, a new mindset of people. That's why they came and they were necessary. And when they spoke about the 144,000, and those other people were speaking about the 144,000, your white man, all these other races of people, they were not the chosen people. The 144,000 was put out by the Amen Being, and it was carried through in this day and time, up into this day and time, to the chosen people that was supposed to receive that, because the forming of the 144,000 as a republic, as a nation, as a covenant was meant to be the evolutionary exchange where they would go from being a race of people in darkness to a people in brighter reception, in brighter connection with the higher self, the extended self as the Amen race. This was the evolution we was talking about. Nobody has ever experienced that. Everybody that spoke about that was working toward that. You understand? We in the Republic of Mentellect are the fulfillment of that, because we gather in the 144,000 this day and time. It wasn't for Elijah Muhammad to do it. It wasn't for Dr. York to do it, and it wasn't for the people that came before them to do it. It is meant to be now, right now, not back then. Elijah Muhammad worked to gather the body of the people. Dr. York worked to gather the souls of the people, and I am bringing the mind of the people together. Threefold. Jesus, Atum, Atum Ra, Atum. There is no Jesus. There is no Atum Re. There's only Amen. And the receivers of those who are the receivers of Amen's intelligence. That Amen Re was the reception, the receivers of Amen. There is no, the Allah and all this. These were people who were trying to make their way toward Amen. They were trying to make their way. So when Elijah Muhammad was talking about Allah, because he was in the Freemasonic order and they were after the order of Egypt, they knew that the last people that knew about or was knew something about Amen was the ancient Egyptians. They was the ones who were talking about the end and the Amen and the Lord, so they was working toward that. They didn't get there. That's why they say that Amen was still a mystery to them, because these people were working through the bright light. They were working through the solar reception onto this planet, and that light was blinding to them. That's why if you look when the ancient Egyptians had their hand up to the sun and they showed the rays coming off it, they were showing their hands blocking the rays because the light was very bright. It was very bright, and the reception that was coming to them was too bright for them to understand. That's why they referred to Amen as the hidden or the unknown. And that's where religion got the whole thing of God being hidden and unknown, because the light and the reception and frequency and transmission in which Amen, those advanced beings were coming from, was not understandable to those people. It was meant to be more understandable to the people who would come later on in the future or in advanced dimensions of existence. And that's us in this day and time. So this was the evolution that we was working toward through our ancestors and now on to our ascendants. So this was something they was worked at. It was never nothing fully baked out. It was never nothing fully laid out. They was working toward that. It was all encapsulated in what they were trying to teach on their part in the evolution of our people. Residing on the throne, the elected a great judgment, right? Well, who laid out the judgment but the Amen Being? And I broke down that it was about to be about the judgmental, to judge the minds of the people, so that they can be, seen as fit to extend themselves, to be extended on a higher level, on an outer dimension. We broke that down in mental, like what judgment really meant. We broke that down. Elijah Muhammad didn't break that down. Dr. York didn't break that down. Bobby Hemmett didn't break it down. Phil Valentine didn't break it down. We broke that down about the judgment being judgmental, being judged mentally, to see if your mind is right, to receive the transmission and reception from these advanced beings, these Amen, to continue forward into the future as the chosen people. We broke that down. Residing upon the throne, the mother plane, the bedroom, the bed, Nimbare, are all indeed analogies. Yeah, okay, and like I said, they said it. They said it. So if you're saying that you saying it's all the same thing, the Beru and then Bahre and all that, and I said it was the same thing, it represented our ancestors and our ascendants in a moving planet, our future ascendants in a movable planet, who created Earth and all these other planets within the solar system. We said that. You understand? We said that. It's certain things, like I said, you're talking about generalized things, certain things that are going to be continuous. What's going to be continuous? That our ascendants were moving in a movable planet? Yeah, that's something that is. But it's not about just that. The knowledge is more. It's intricacies to this. There's advanced intelligence to this. There's more to it than this. They was just moving in a planet. You talking about the thing that encapsulated the knowledge. You talking about the outer shell of what was holding the greater knowledge. And when you see in the ancient Egypt, they had the cartouche with several writings and pictures on the wall. Those cartouches represented dimensions in which knowledge was being given to those people. It represented time frames in which writings and knowledge and whatnot was being dispatched to those people in those time frames. All right? All indeed analogies. Soon people shall begin to see clear and main tenets and major modern religions of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, and its New Age bastardized schools of thought, all originated from the core tenets of Egyptian Sumerian mythology. Oh, now it's mythology, right? It's a myth. You sound like a white man. Oh, it's all a myth now. So now your ancestors are lying. Mythology, even more remote belief systems long forgotten. Regarding religion belief systems, there are none that cannot be linked or traced back to the founding existence of primitive formalization that predates modern counterparts. This same Egyptian Sumerian mythology upon which the pyramids were built is the progenitor and is made siblings and countless creeds, persuasions, and religious doctrines of today, both mainstream and YouTube and blog talk social media underground. There truly is no new knowledge coming from beyond the sun, only greater comprehension and mindful expansion that brings clarity to all that surrounds the mind's eye. So in other words, you saying there's nothing new under the sun, right? There's nothing new coming from beyond the sun. Everything come from Egypt. That's what he said. So where do the Egyptians get it from? Where do Sumerians get it from? They created the planet. You would have to know all the knowledge that they taught in order to say that nothing new came out before them or outside of them. You saying that they teaching mythology 1 minute, but then on your page you talking about Amen. So then if everything's a mythology and we all mythological and everything's a myth and it's not true, because mythological means it's not true, then why are you wearing and you saying mentellect comes from that, then why are you wearing mentelian names? Why are you following a doctrine wearing a name from a person who's a false teacher like myself? Why are you doing that? Then you might well go back to being Derek Coulter then, or go get you an Egyptian name. You understand? You might well go back to that. You take things that are you take certain things that are part of the outer body, the outer shell, the principle, because the principle is going to be the same, but the knowledge is not based on the principle. It's what comes as the body of knowledge within the principle. Yeah, the spaceships. Yeah, of course, there's going to be movable planets. Nobody never said, oh, that was new or whatnot, but that was from the Amen being who gave that knowledge to the Egyptians and the Sumerians. The Egyptians and Sumerians did not make up no movable planet. They did not make up no movable planet. They didn't make up no Amen. You understand that? Because you would have to then say that they're the creators of the planet then. That they the original originators of all thought on the earth. So you saying everything came from them, which is ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Like I said, the TVs, the VCRs, the cars came from them too, right? Since you say all knowledge come from them, right? If you say there's nothing new under the sun, nothing coming from beyond the sun, where all this stuff come from then? It all came from them? Then he puts up the Nation of Islam flag, the Nawabian flag, and our flag, the Republic of Mentellect flag, and he's trying to make comparisons between the titles of Elijah Muhammad, Dr. York, and myself. Yeah, you are making a parallel because, like I said, each group represents an extension of the advanced knowledge. Elijah Muhammad came to bring the body, York brought the soul, and I brought the mind together of the people. I brought the mind together of the people. I stood on it. All you doing, like I said, and if you fit, and then on your page, you sitting up here talking about the more completely man comes to comprehend himself and appreciates his own divinity, endowed intellectual persona and mind, the more he will thirst to know the infinite selfhood. The infinite selfhood. I wonder where you got that from. The infinite selfhood, and the more earnestly such God-knowing man will strive toward godhood and become like God. Like what God? Like what God, Dinar? You just said ain't nothing new under the sun. So God exists outside this planet. God exists outside this planet. God exists before Earth. So if God, these Amen beings exist before Earth, and they came onto the earth, they would be that new thing coming from beyond the sun. So you saying that everything that they put on the planet, that's it? And why? And then you got Amen Mentorium. All that came from me. All of man's intellectual endowments came from me, must be wholly consecrated to the effort of evolutionizing, using our words in the Republic of Intellect, evolutionizing the mind. Well, wait a minute. Where is it? How do you evolve to something if there's nothing new? There's nothing to evolve to if you're saying there's nothing new. That means there's no evolution. Evolution means you move to a higher level, an advanced level, a new level. How do you evolve to something that there's nothing new under the sun? There's nothing to evolve to. You would revolve then, if that's the case. You would revolve in the old same circle of knowledge if there's nothing new under the sun. And wholehearted devotion toward its source, author, and progenitor, indwelling divine spark and fragment of essence of God, Amen, from which it is derived. Oh, wait a minute. The progenitor, the indwelling divine spark, the fragmented essence of God, Amen, from which it is derived. Wait, I thought everything came from the Egyptians, Dinar. I thought it wasn't nothing new coming from beyond the sun. Amen is from beyond the sun. God is from beyond the sun. God was here before the sun. I thought it wasn't nothing new coming from the sun. I thought everything came from the Egyptians. Everything coming out your mouth came from me. All this intellectual connection with Amen, and all you did was copy from me, and you still wearing Amen tell your names. Man, you a straight up clown, man. And then your woman talking about religion, rely on jinn. What you got from Dr. York, Lanezi? Man, I'm done with y'all, man. And Fred Red, I already see you not calling in, man. You just like what I thought you was, man. I give credit to the guy, what's his name? That clown, Cell Fluid. I give credit to that clown. At least he tried to call in, even though he sounded ridiculous in what he was saying. You understand? At least he tried to call in. We already dealt with this Dinar, this contradicting his walk. Dinar, you ain't nothing but a walking contradiction. Everything you do is contradictory to what you saying. Everything you do is contradictory to what you're saying. You are walking, talking contradiction, which means there's confusion there. So if there's confusion there, then like I said, Amen ain't dealing with you. You understand? Amen ain't dealing with you because Amen don't deal with confusion. Amen is not the author of confusion. You understand? Amen is not the author of confusion. Coon. You understand? You the author of confusion because you jealous and you angry. Because you mad because you're not in the Republic no more, so you got to think, oh, he wasn't teaching nothing new anyway. Then what you staying here for 2 years for? You should have went and been studying the Metanetta if I wasn't teaching nothing new. You stood behind that, so that makes you a hypocrite. You knew about ancient Egypt before, and why don't you just go get you an Egyptian name now? That's simple. Stop wearing the Mentelian names. Stop false flagging. You ain't with us. And the only reason I brought that out is because by you wearing that name, people think that you associated with us. By you wearing the name ⴰ and your woman wearing the name ⴰ people think you affiliated with the Republican Mentellect because they know our Mentelian names. They know our names. You need to go get you some ancient Kemetic names, man, and stop false flagging and trying to act like you part of this or that you came up with the names. You're a damn liar, man. And all you about is creating confusion like the rest of the damn black race. You're not about the truth. I'm going to take a call. 405.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
This is Anthony from the city. OKC. Man, yeah, I've been going through a lot, you know what I mean, just through my time and waking up and just paying attention to what's going on. I've been listening to you with my brother, you know, he sent me a couple of your videos and I've been paying attention. And that was about 5 months ago. And you know, I've just been battling with it and I'm just thinking, and I know I can feel it. I can feel the true and living God when I feel it. And I know he's speaking through you. So my question is, you know, what do I do now? You know what I mean? I mean, my mind is open, and I'm doing everything that I could possibly do. But, you know, I just want to know, what do I do now?
Join the Republican Mentellect. Become a mentalist. Become a registered mentalist because we lead in the future. We about to run this. The hell with the black race. The black race is finished because people like the Norman Darrays and Fred Red and people like this, they represent the black race with this consciousness. So we need to get further away from these people because they about nothing but confusion and lies. Join the Republican Mentellect. Mentellect-republic.com. Go to our official site, Mentellect, Mentellect-Republic, REPUBLIC.com. Join the Republican Mentellect and become an official member of the Republican Mentellect. We raising this bright nation up. That's what you do.
Yeah.
And if you're a friend of mine, on Facebook, then let yourself be known to me or send me a friend request on the Nuben Menkares. Okay?
All right, got it. Thank you, brother.
All right, bro. All right, thank you, brother. All right.
Yeah.
Show me. All right. This ain't a game, man. This ain't no game. This ain't a game. We ain't got time to be playing with nobody, man. And when I say in the name of Amen, by the power of Amen and Amen we trust, we not playing, man. This ain't no Negro group that's remixing ancient Egypt because you heard the word Amen. Amen is a continuous frequency, a continuous tone, a continuous race and bloodline of people. Before the earth, during the earth, and after the earth. Before the sun, during the sun, and after the sun. Before the ancient Egyptians and everybody on earth, during these people, and after these people are gone. Amen going to still be here. Amen did not come from no ancient Egypt. Or else he wouldn't be a mystery to those people. His name wouldn't be a mystery. That race of people wouldn't be a mystery. You guys need to shut your damn lying mouths, man. Shut your lying mouths. Because all you out to do is mislead the people. All you out to do, like black people that you are, because of anger, envy, and jealousy, you here to mislead the people, man. You here to lie to the people. I told you, my haters are old, man. The Mentellect is new. It's next level for the people of this time. The Mentelians, the Mentelian Ammonites. It ain't for the false flaggers, because like I said, if you thought it was false, you wouldn't even be wearing the name still. You holding on to the name because you know you bore witness that this truth was this was the truth. You bore witness to it. I don't know if you're trying to look good in front of your woman, you know what I'm saying, because she's still wearing my name. You understand that? I don't know if you're trying to look good in front of her. You want to sound deep and heavy, but y'all both phonies, frauds. Why you still hanging on the Mentellect TV? My teaching, my word. The word I brought forward in the year 2010. Why are you still hanging on to Mentellect TV? Why you still want to be associated with us in some way, shape, or form? It's just as easy. All you got to do is get you an Egyptian name, Sumerian name. Just like you changed, you could go change it to something else. Why are you still hanging on to that? So everything out your mouth sounds stupid. Everything out of your mouth sounds contradictory. It sounds hypocritical. Everything out of your mouth that you say about me and mental sounds hypocritical. Because, like I said, if you really believe it's from Egypt, then go get Egyptian names. Enough said. But you ain't going to do that because you know the truth that it's not. It's not. That's why you tried to go and copyright or trademark the word mentellect. You understand? Because you want to be connected to the truth. But see, you can't be connected to the truth through a lie. That's the problem, Dinar. You can't be connected to the truth through a lie. You never will be. We're going to play a little bit of music, and we shall be right. Let me see what I want to play. Golden time of day. We are back. We got a call. 954.
Just listening, Newman.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll put you back on mute.
Brother.
All right. Yeah, it don't look like Fred, this guy Fred Red's gonna show up. You know, this Negro don't seem like he's gonna show up. He'll wait. What he's gonna do is he's gonna get on the post and curse me out and call me all kind of names and whatnot because I called him out. So let me try something. 330? 330? 330? Okay. I don't hear nothing from 330. Okay. All right. I gotta hang up some of these lines so I know. Okay. All right. Okay. So my point being that there's always new knowledge coming from beyond the sun. There's always new knowledge to the elect, to the chosen people, to the mentally dead. No. There's nothing new coming from beyond the sun for the mentally dead. You understand? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And all this proves when you see black people say that is that we just got a bunch of mentally dead black people who are not in reception with Amen, who are out of alignment. That's all that proves, that these are people who are out of alignment with God, with those advanced race of people, with their ascendancy, which obviously they're not a part of the ascension. That's all that means. When you say things like there is no knowledge coming from beyond the sun or no new knowledge under the sun, you sound silly. Like I said, you are not part of the ascension. That's a sign you're cut off, or you was never cut on in the first place. You were never cut on. You understand? You were unable to hear those high frequencies and tones of Amen. You were unable to get that reception. You asking for the reception. You want the ultra standing. You want the brightness, but you're not going to get it because like I said, you gave your soul over already, Dinar. You gave it over. If you ever had it in the first place, you gave your soul over. You part of that spirit force. You spiritual, because in the spirit world, which is governed by this planet, a heavy spiritual vibration, a heavy water vibration is on this planet, a gravitational pull. You want to pull everything down to your level, to your low level of understanding. You want to water things down. But see, Amen is dealing with fire, pure light, pure bright illumination. Pure bright illumination. That's why the brightness is blinding. That's why Amen was hidden behind the brightness. Amen was hidden behind the brightness. Amen has always, that race of Amen being have always been projecting intelligence into this planet, to the chosen people. They're not going to send that knowledge to the people who are not the chosen, but the people who are not the chosen will be the beneficiaries of that knowledge over time as the chosen people dispatch it throughout the planet. You understand that? Just like when the ancient Egyptians was up and they was in the people, you had the pharaohs and the priests of Amen. You had them receiving that knowledge. You had the Sumerians, the certain chosen people sat on the throne, and the priests, they was receiving that knowledge to give to the people, right? And these other societies that you talk about were the beneficiaries of what they were saying. But as Amen has cut on this reception again with his chosen people, right, then we're going to receive this new knowledge from on high from Amen. And how is it coming? Through the mind, through telepathic connection, through extrasensory perception. through extrasensory perception and telepathic transmission. That's how it's coming from our ascendants in this day and time. Something that the ancient Kemites and the Nubians, they didn't understand at the time. That's why Amen was there hidden. They didn't understand Amen. They didn't understand how these messages were transmitted to their minds. They didn't understand that. They didn't understand the traveling of thought telepathically and extrasensory perception, which they refer to it now as. They didn't understand that. They didn't understand the traveling of or the sending of messages, mental messages, tone and frequency, pitch, transmission, reception. They didn't get that. They didn't get that. They thought these ideas, they knew these ideas, they showed you the encounter with these Amen beings, these extraterrestrial, these astronauts. You understand? They showed you the connection with these advanced beings, both men and women. They showed that. And these are the people that gave them their knowledge. These are the people that gave them their knowledge. You ain't going to be able to answer where their knowledge come from. You're not going to be able to answer that. You're not going to be able to answer it. You're going to keep on saying, oh, everything come from Egypt, which proves you mentally dead, Dinar. You are mentally dead. You are officially gone. You understand? You slipping in the darkness. Same thing with you, Fred Red. Because, like I said, you didn't show up, and I doubt that you're going to show up within these 17 minutes we got left. You understand? You truly are a sorry excuse for a so-called black man, Fred Red. You are a sorry excuse. So please stop trolling me, because I gave you your chance. If I see you on any of my pages again, I'm going to just go ahead and block you, man, because you got the mindset of a child, man. And the issue you got with me is not that I'm teaching mental like it's something new, which it is, and you ain't got the issue with me. You don't like how I teach it. You said I'm a narcissist. You said that I think I'm all that. I'm a narcissist. And all that. Basically, who this nigga think he is. You ain't no better than me. You a modern-day Steven from the Django, Fred Red. And there's a lot of you guys in the goddamn conscious community. It's a lot of Stevens in the conscious community. Dinar, you a modern-day Steven from the Django. You a modern-day Steven. It's a whole lot of Stevens from the Django. Young Stevens. Haters. Haters. Nothing but emotional hate. Jealousy and envy. Because you ain't got nothing to give to your people. You ain't got nothing to raise your people on. You wish you was a leader, Dinar. You wish you was a leader. You wish you was a speaker. But because you're not, you got to tear down the man that taught you. The man that raised you, the man that gave you your very damn name and your woman. You got to tear down the man who treated you like a brother. You understand? Who put you down on a company that I didn't even have to put you down on. Could have got anybody to do those designs. But I'm not going to rehash that. You know what you did. But that's who you are. That's why Amen is not dealing with you. You can make all the prayers you want to, sit in semicircles, listen to Lanezi, and do damn Zumba or whatever the hell y'all doing, Zumba, damn meditation, yoga. Ain't no Amen is dealing with you. No Amen is dealing with you. A sign that Amen's not dealing with you that he sent you Lanezi into your life. That's a sign that Amen definitely ain't dealing with you. You gonna see soon. But like I said, this ain't about taking shots at nobody. This is about setting the record straight once and for all. Once again. Because I got to see, every so often I got to do this. I got to. Because my reputation is on the line from what I'm teaching. People claiming that I'm copying. Mental like it's brand spanking next. Brand spanking new, brand spanking next. And I dare somebody to show me where I'm taking it from. Because this broadcast is everywhere. This is going to be for the raising of the bright race, out of the black race. The solar intelligent and advanced people, the elect, the chosen, the electrified ones, mind, body, and soul being raised in this day and time as the Amen race, from out of the black race, from out of the so-called human race, from amongst them. You show me where Bobby Hemmett and Phil Valentine teaching that, or Dr. York. They ain't never said we wasn't human. I said we wasn't human. I said we were Amen. I said it. And a man got to step up and claim what he taught. Got to. Because, see, things get lost in translation. And it's because of people like this. This is why things get lost in translation. This is why there's confusion. This is why people can't come together effectively, because you got a lot of people like this who only are here to be obstacles in the way. They no different than the white man. The white man is meant to be an obstacle just like these Negroes are. And I had them amongst me. You understand that? I had them amongst me. They'll sit up here and make videos talking about mental life. I'm like, I should be the last thing on your mind. I should be like this guy, this clown, Cell Fluid. You made a whole video talking about a flag. You understand? And I showed you, like I said, I already dealt with you on that. You understand? But you sat up here and made a whole video on a flag. You ain't even in the Republic of Mentellect. What do you care? You understand? You're not even in the Republic of Mentellect. Like I said before, there's no way you're going to mistake our Mentelian flag for anybody else's flag. There's no way. The color is going to be different. The variation of the color is going to be different. The images in there is going to be different. You understand? So color, brightness, and advanced spectrum ability will set it apart from everything. The brightness. That's the difference between our flag and everybody else is the brightness. The brightness. From the brightness comes the many different spectrums of color. You see the red in our flag, the yellow in our flag, the blue in our flag, the light blue in our flag. You see all that in our flag. You see the Nation of Islam flag, their flag is red and white. You see that Macedonian flag, their flag is red and yellow. You see Dr. York and the flag, they did the red, black, and green, which is coming off of Africa, but that was the old Nuwapian flag. I don't know how their new flag look. And I'm not taking anything away from them, but like I said, the Nation of Islam flag, they was shit. Even though they turned their star and crescent to the left, you know, and they tried to distinguish themselves from the Arabs in the east, because the Arabs star and crescent go to the right, they go to the left. They tried to distinguish themselves, but still in all, they still share a flag with the Arab world. They still share a religion, a way of life, whatever you want to call it, a God with the Arabs. And that's not a slight to your Honorable Elijah Muhammad. They was only given what they were allotted to give at that time. You understand? As we were moving toward Mentellect. Dr. York, same thing. He has red, black, and green in it, which is linked to the Pan-African thing. He's dealing with Egypt. He's dealing with Africa, Egypt. You understand that? Freemasonry, a little bit of all that stuff. And again, because they were born in the lunar age, Elijah born in 1897, Dr. York born in 1945, because they were born in the lunar age before 1970, they were only going to receive a limited level of knowledge because they were born on the lunar side. I was the only one born in the solar age. I was conceived in the sun, and I was born in the sun. I was conceived in the solar age. I was not conceived in 1969. I was conceived in 1970, March of 1970, and I came forward in November of 1970, 46 years ago. So this knowledge that's coming through me is all solar intelligence, no lunar, no watered down, no additives, raw and uncut, straight and direct. Can you feel that fire? Because now I took the body of Elijah, I took the soul of Malachi, and now the mind of Nuben is here, all coming by way of Amen. All coming by way of Amen. The body is being put together. The soul is being put together. The mind is being put together. You understand? So this was all a laid out thing from the Amen race. Dr. York always was saying he was receiving on a higher level. So when we saying we receiving, everybody talking about reception, like I said, where they receiving from? Everybody, we all liars? We all just making it up? We all just reaching back to ancient Egypt? Where they received it from? Oh, that's right. You ain't got no answer for that. That's right. You ain't got no answer for that. Womp, womp. No answer for that. Nobody calling in. Nothing from Fred Reds. 9 minutes left. You ain't calling in, man. Man, stay off my post, man. You stay off my post. I don't talk to people like you no more. Because like I said, at least Cell Fluid had enough balls to show up. You ain't even got no balls, Fred Red. None whatsoever. No balls at all. Anyway, let me go ahead and read this because I got a lot of questions here I'm going to answer. So I have at least 6 or 7 questions I'm going to answer here. So I'm going to start reading these questions right now. Is Mentellect new knowledge from beyond the sun? Yes, it is. Yes, emphatically it is. for the reception and the transmission and the raising of our people, the souls of our people, the minds of our people, the body of our people as the bright race, as the Mentelian Ammonites, after the order of Ammon, not after the order of Nubian Menkares, not after the order of the ancient Egyptians, not after the order of the Sumerians, not after the order of Dr. York or Elijah Muhammad. We was always moving in the order of Ammon, after our ascendants. Not after no ancestors, not after no Africans, not after no damn Nubians, always after the order of Ammon. You people are hung up on the ancient Egyptians. You hung up on man. Y'all a bunch of damn man worshippers. We are not. It's all about the ascendancy of Ammon. Who is sending this knowledge from beyond the sun? Our ascendants. Our children and their children and their children and all extensions and variations of our future self, our extended self. There ain't no mystery to this. The mystery is over. Ammon is us, our ascendancy. This is a continuous evolution. There is no mystery here of Ammon. This is a race. And nobody ever taught that before me. Show and prove if they did. Nobody ever taught that Ammon was a race. Not some single god. Did all knowledge come from the ancient people, the ancient Egyptians and Sumerians? No, it did not. Nothing came from them. Everything that they taught came from these Ammon being to them about their very existence. They said that everything, they acknowledged the existence of Ammon or those Nitiru or those Anunnaki, whatever you referring to them as. They acknowledge the existence of these beings on high. They acknowledge that. So what the hell are you talking about? All knowledge come from them. The cars and the computers too, right, Dinar? Is all modern day knowledge a remix of ancient knowledge? Some of it is. Some of it is, but not here. It's not here. When you talking about, you write about one thing. When you talking about the Christians and you talking about the Muslims and the Israelites and all those people, yeah, you write about that because they're not of the elect. They're not of the elect. They have to go and create concepts off the perceptions of our people. They're not of the elect. But the ones who are of the elect, we ain't got to remix no knowledge. We encapsulate the order and the structure that was sent to us by these Ammon being by our ascendants, which is one leader, one order, one flag, one nation, one person receiving the light to power the body and forward into the future, one future prophecy, one future people, 144,000. That's timeless. That was an order and direction we got from the Ammon being, from our ascendants. That didn't come from no ancient Egyptians. And like I said, the white men, the Arab, the East Indians, yeah, they copied from us. But I ain't got a copy from them. I don't got a copy from the ancestors. I take all my instruction and direction from the ascendants. As I've always said, I've never taken credit for mental life. I said it came from on high, from the ascendants, from the future, from our future race, from our future progeny, from our future blood, our continuous bloodline. They are the creators of this planet. Our children, their children, their children's children's children, they created this planet. This is a continuous bloodline of Ammon. Was Ammon a concept of Egyptian creation? No. Because if Ammon was, like I said, I brought it out before, if Ammon was a concept of Egyptian creation, then why is Ammon a mystery to the Egyptians? Why does the name Ammon mean the hidden or the unknown? How do you create something and then don't know what it means? How is something a concept of yours and then you don't even know what it means? That don't even make no sense. If I come up with a concept, I'm going to know what it means. Front and back and in between, everything outside, I'm gonna know everything it means. If the name Ammon was hidden or a mystery, then that means they didn't create it. That means that somebody else gave that to them. Is Ammon a race of beings? Yes, they are. Our ascendants, not human Ammon, that created the human race. Why do people say that there's nothing new under the sun or beyond the sun? Because they're mentally dead. They're mentally dead. They have no ascendancy on the other side. Their children that they're going to have in the future are not of the elect. That's a sign that they are not of the elect. The people who this resonates with, that means you're of the elect. You're going to be in the 144,000. You're going to become part of the Republic of Mentellect, and you're going to stay here and live this life. The ones of our people who came in here, these Negroes that came in here, that was in here for a minute, but then you had to bump out. and make excuses like, oh, y'all had a problem with me and I didn't do nothing to you. The ones that you bumped out, it's because you woke up and found out you was black. Dinar and Lanezi, you found out you was black. You were just two black people that like Mentellect. That's all. You're not of the bright race. You're not of the bright race. You're thoroughly of the black race. You're black people trying to front like you bright. That's all. Is Amen a why do people still say? Okay, I read that. Is time relative? Is relative the same? Is something that's relative the same? No, it's not the same. You have things that are relatable to each other, but it don't mean it's the same. I brought that out. A gorilla could have a head, 2 arms, a heart, a brain, but you're not the same as a gorilla. Just like you ain't the same as a damn white man because you can procreate and lay with them and have babies and sex with them. We're not the same as those people. We're not the same as them. You could look at us and tell we're not the same. But maybe later on, Dinar, you'll be saying we all the same. Maybe you'll be saying that next. You understand? Who are the future race of Amen? We are. We are. The Republican Mentellect, the Mentelian Amenites. We are the elect, the 144,000, the future race and continuing that's being gathered in this day and time, the race of Amen. And that's it. Like I said, none of the people who are claiming all this stuff called in, but we had a lot of listeners tonight. You had your chance. You had a whole 2 hours. Now we got 2 minutes left. Like I said, I'm done arguing about this. You had your chance. So, peace out to you, Fred Red. I ain't got no hard feelings towards you. I may do a broadcast tomorrow night. If so, check me out at 9 o'clock to see if I'm going to do something. I am the intellectual noob in மென்காரே. This has been Mentellect Radio. Good.
It's the Republic of Mentellect, rising out the black race to the white race, out the black race to the white race. It's the Republic of Mentellect, black race to the white race. If it's hell, Amen, then it's hell us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold, and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capability